L'engagement, la vitesse, la hauteur. Oh, incroyable!
This is what we come to the FISE for. This energy is found nowhere else in the world. The best crowd, the best energy. Montpellier, the FISE is back.
Fais-moi du bruit pour le FISE!
What's up, FISE family, and welcome to the last event of the weekend.
Mon cher,
It's still
je crois que
the
ça va se
first
balancer
World
là.
Stop of the year,
Là, ça
but
va
it's
envoyer du
the last
steak.
event, and that is
Thomas,
going to
est-ce
be
que tu peux envoyer du très très lourd?
BMX
Thomas, est-ce que tu peux envoyer du très très lourd?
World Cup.
Montpellier,
We're
est-ce
getting
qu'on
ready
est
here
chaud
in the
pour cette
studio.
finale
We're
flat?
just wrapping up the
J'ai
final
rien
ceremony
entendu.
as well, the end ceremony of this
Montpellier,
FISE
que vous êtes
World
prêts?
Montpellier. Just a couple of more minutes before we're going to be broadcasting that
Allez, c'est le
final.
moment de nettoyer l'air de
My name
flat.
is
On va avoir
Egon,
3 minutes
and
d'échauffement
I'm
pour
here
cette
in the
première
studio
poule.
with Lionel Cardoso.
Hello and welcome to Montpellier for the final event, as you just said, and not the least, BMX Flatland Pro Finals, which is definitely one of the highlights every year right here in Montpellier.
The final celebration of the BMX Freestyle
Et avant
lifestyle
l'échauffement, on va passer
here
à la
on the
présentation des
riverbanks
riders.
of the Les. We're just cleaning the stage one more time. We just had a tiny bit of rain, just enough to cool down the riders because it's been a very hot weekend. People have been suffering from heat strokes, but most importantly, people have been having a lot of fun here the whole weekend. We've had skateboarding, scooter riding, roller skating, breaking, parkour, and of course, BMX Freestyle. Last night we had the spine ramp. We actually went a bit overtime, even past midnight, to wrap up all the tricks that were being thrown down on that ramp.
All the madness, you mean? The insanity that went down
Okay, la
yesterday. So
température
many
monte.
world first, just as
La
usual.
pression
You know,
aussi.
people would say FISE as usual.
I mean, I would have people convince them with a reason to come to FISE, it would be the spine ramp contests.
Absolutely. And another one today is going to be Flatland again. Each and every year we see the level going up and crazy. Everybody is expecting this
I will
contest,
ask all
especially
the
in the Flatland
riders
scene,
in final to
because
come on stage,
of
please.
one thing and one
Est-ce que
thing
tous les
only,
finalistes
and
peuvent
you
monter
guessed
sur
it,
la scène? On va
it's the
passer à la
crowd.
présentation des
The
riders.
crowd here for Flatland is like nowhere else in the world, and that's also why year after year the best riders come here in Montpellier.
Just the feedback that we sometimes get from the crowd, that is what gets the riders going. Now, if it's your first time watching Flatland, we're going to explain it to you.
All right, it's pretty easy. There's going to be 2 heats of 4 riders. They're going to have 1 run of 3 minutes, and the judges are going to look for 1 overall note, taking into account difficulty, style, originality, and flow. That's pretty much how they're going to look at it. Not giving
Je vais
points
avoir
for
un
each
assistant au
category,
micro en
but
la
just an
personne de
overall
Catfish.
impression.
Simon, est-ce que tu pourrais
Giving
prêter
points
ton
on
micro à Catfish,
100
s'il te plaît?
is the maximum you can get.
On va
And
le
definitely
chercher, mon
Flatland
cher,
is all about originality,
Raph.
creating your own tricks. As you're going to see in a couple minutes, each and every of those riders definitely have their own style, their own flavor, and they even have their own tricks that nobody else is going to be doing.
Maybe even today, some world firsts in competition.
Absolutely, especially with the roster we have online right there. Just the best of the best, definitely here in Montpellier once again, ready to battle. And we talked about it earlier, there's a change of dynamics. We talked about the criteria where the judging are going to be taking into account difficulty, risk-taking, flow, style, consistency, originality, once again, variety of tricks, control of the bike. That's definitely what the judges are taking into account. Who's the best on the bike today?
So you can look at the judging panel from left to right.
Legends upon legends. Alexis from France on the left-hand side, Frank Lucas from Germany, Johan Chan from the UK, and Ephraim Catlow, another legend of the scene, taking care of one of the biggest website. And right with the white tank top is also another legend, Mathias Dandois, who just retired here last year. Not without taking the world crown once again last year. And we're gonna see who's gonna be battling today. Here are the riders, here are the fighters into the arena.
Welcome to the party. You see the crowd behind me. This has been one of the best weekends ever for BMX. We are about to get into the final pro flatland men. 8 men enter. There's only going to be one champion. Are you ready to meet the riders? Representing España, 29 years old, Varo Hernandez.
Oh yeah! Representing France, Joris Bretagnol!
19 years old, representing France, Julien Baron.
Du bruit pour lui, c'est l'avenir!
Up and coming rider, Julien Baron.
Yigen Omoteala, 19 years old from Japan!
That's a surprise.
Possible
One
dark
of the
horse
most
for this competition.
Flatlanders of all time, representing France, Alexander
The legend, the one and only rider who's been participating at the FISE every year since it started in 1997.
Very serious guy here, Kiyo Ayakawa from Japan!
Our winner from the World Cup in Shanghai from
This
last
one here
October.
too.
23 years old, representing Team Japan, Yu Shoji!
One of the biggest contender. He's won the past 2 years here in Montpellier, and definitely one
Last
to
but
watch.
not the least, representing Japan, he's been trading the qualification at the semi-final. He was first place, Yuka Tagiri!
Here is one of the best rider at the moment in the world,
8 men
and
enter,
he's
1
also
man
won this
leaves.
contest
Make some noise for your finalists!
once. So we gotta watch for these Japanese
Allez, let's do the
shredders.
3-minute warm-up for the first
So to sum
group.
it up, 4 Japanese riders,
2 groups of 4,
3
they
French
get 3
riders,
minutes each.
and another dark horse from Spain, Alvaro Hernandez del
3
Pozo.
minutes run.
Oh yeah, can't wait for it to start. We just
Difficulty,
give him a little
originality,
practice time.
Consistency, variety, and flow.
And to all of our new Flatland fans out there, if you're asking yourself, how do you win? It's the same as the park. Don't make any mistakes. The judges don't want to see your feet touching the ground. We call those touches.
So the first heat of riders is getting their warm-up here on the stage, the G-Shock stage. And it's a good thing. It rained just a couple of drops, so it took the temperature down a bit.
Definitely, it's been scorching 4 past days. You know, as you said, some of the riders even had the heat stroke right before their runs. So harsh conditions, but we're good at the Flatland tent because, as you can see, there's a little roof over there keeping the riders in the shade. And there is some highlights from yesterday's semi-finals. This was some of the best tricks, and you're gonna see what to expect in the upcoming minutes. Crazy levels already at the semifinals. They really battle it up. This was you. Here is the youngster Yigen. Definitely a surprise right here in Montpellier. First time on the international circuit for him. And definitely an upcoming rider from Japan that we weren't expecting actually. And the last one was, unfortunately, Anatole, who didn't make the cut for these finals. Another fine Frenchman, but we already have 3 of them up on the line. We have a couple minutes of warm-up before we start, just to make sure every line is ready, every trick's thought of.
Make sure the ground is dry.
Oh yeah. And once again, look at that crowd. You know, that's what the riders are here for. Definitely, this vibe is nowhere else heard and felt. So, you know, so warming, and we feel welcome just being riding on the stage. You know, I'm just losing my words right there.
Yeah, I mean, that's
because it
something
feels so good, you know.
That's something that we feel throughout the weekend. I mean, Montpellier is so welcome. It's a very hospitable city to the riders, to the people just visiting FISE Montpellier, because, of course, a lot of urban sports enthusiasts just come here to watch all the action in all the different categories.
Absolutely, and also, it's just being here, we feel also the respect for the sports. You know, the people are not only cheering, but some of those people have been coming for 20 years and they even have the culture and kind of know the tricks now, which is insane.
Okay. Quick introduction of the judges. We have Alexis Desaulneuf from France. Make some noise for Alexis.
Right.
We have Frank Lucas.
Yes,
from
they
Germany.
are
Make some
almost
noise
ready
for
to
Frank,
go.
please.
Everybody is set up and warmed up. By now, they already had qualifiers and semis, so they know what they're going to do. But we never know what to expect in the finals, especially as far as world first can go. And the first one to go all the way from Spain, Madrid, in the place to be.
He won the best creative trick just 2 weeks ago in Canada.
Absolutely.
At Jean-William Provost, his jam.
Definitely developed his riding in the past couple of years with like some original moves. You see he's going to be jumping from front wheel to back wheel with ease, and he's made it his trademark. Let's see what he's going to be going into to start with. Usually the first trick is like the confidence trick to get, you know, yeah, going straight in with the flamenco style music. And look at the feet, you know, he's going to be jumping from one position to the other. That's also his specialty. Look at that, spinning the bars into the half-packer, where he's just pushing on his feet to get some speed and pumping. Most of these guys, they ride without brakes, which is definitely even harder. Just like riding a skateboard, they don't have brakes on skateboards, and that's pretty much the spirit. A little touch right there. But he's got most of the combo in, so hopefully that's not going to get the result. Two down. Oh, going street style right there with the half cab out, which means he's doing a 180. Was the last tricks of the combo. Once again, look at the feet. That's the fancy footwork right there. Oh, there it is, jumping from the front wheel to the back wheel, straight into the mega spin, back into a nose wheelie on the pegs, which means he was running on the front wheel. Imagine without brakes. Insane. Rolling out right there once again with the half cab. So much energy. So many tricks in one combo, going from the front wheel to the back wheel and back to the front again. And all that with flow, and that's definitely what the judges are gonna look for. Look at that, back at it. Front and back. Oh, again, straight into the pumping wheelie right there.
Mauro Hernandez bringing more spice than patatas bravas.
Definitely. And look at that, he's getting some speed back. Look at this one. He's gonna get on the pedal and hopefully let go of the ends. Oh!
He tapped the ground.
He still got 40 seconds, still enough time to get those points. Already 2 touches. That's gonna be a tough one to get on the podium, definitely. But he pulled some pretty good tricks so far. So here is the no-handed. Oh, look at that one. Jesus Christ position, and he's pulling it. Still 20 seconds. Let's see what he's got for the end of the run. That might make the difference. And that's definitely a hard one to have enough cardio to go all the way to the end of the run. 3 minutes is quite long. Oh, and there it is, doing it fine. Yes. Pretty good run besides those 2 touches. We'll see what the judges think in just a couple seconds. as we are having the live scoring. That's a tough one for the judges, you know, because it's the first rider to come through.
Yeah, he's going to be setting the score for all the other riders.
Absolutely. And it's quite never easy with such a run, which is some good stuff and some hit and miss. Right there, pretty good bar spins, steamroller. Look at that one.
Steamroller is where you hold the bike in front of you?
That's where you hold the seat with your one hand and the bar with the other hand on the front wheel, and you roll. And here is the half cab out I mentioned earlier. And here is the jump for the front wheel to the back wheel, from one side to the other as well, which is really tricky. And again, the half cab out, super clean. Half cab is doing the 180 street style.
There we have it.
Yes.
Front
Again,
to back
front to
action.
back. And there is that position. No handed. It's so crazy up there on the pedal. Really not a comfy position you want to be in. It's just controlling it like so much flow. So much style also. Yep.
Yes.
The boomerang out. Nice and clean. It's always good for the judges to be on a nice finishing. Oh, 72, there it is. Pretty rough score to start with. In these finals, we usually go for the 80s, you know, in the first score. That shows that the judges were not that impressed. And it's hard for Varro because a lot of the tricks are not as difficult as the other riders. So if he misses his run, that goes straight to, you know, the wayside. That can be a problem. Here's the first Frenchman of this first group.
One of your compatriots.
Oh yeah, and definitely a much different style, doing only back wheel tricks. And there he goes, not waiting a second. And a lot of it, you're gonna see Joris is doing spinning tricks where he spins on himself on the back wheel. And you can see right here on the detail, he's got a big back tire and a skinny front tire, just because he doesn't use that front tire at all.
It looks like a mullet bike.
Absolutely. Just to shave some weight, actually, off the bike and make it easier to
keep that weight in the back of the bike.
Absolutely. Look at that. Going straight into the spinning gyrator, going on the pedals. Oh! One of the signature moves right there, where he puts both feet on the pedal. Imagine going like 1 meter over the ground on the bike. Such a hard position to handle, and he's doing it spinning. Look at that, he's gonna get both feet, one end off. Oh, insane. And he's pulling it right there. Incredible. Yes. Here is full Joris with the 90s hit as a music. Backstreet Boys in you here.
And is that something that the riders can ask themselves?
Absolutely. They, for Flatland, they all ask for their own music just to get them in the zone. Look at that one.
Time machine?
Time machine, absolutely. With both feet, he's the only one doing that on the circuit. Just cruising around. Look at that control once again. Saving it. Pushing that wheel with his hand. With the stubble duck out, which means he gets the bike around his back. All the while rolling. Once again, his specialty is back wheel, as you can tell, and all that spinning would get any of the amateurs super dizzy, but not Joris. Definitely in control of those tricks. 1 minute to go. And that's where the cardio starts to kick in, you know. It gets tricky with all the spinning. Yeah, the full backflip right there. Look at that one. I'm sure we're gonna get that in the highlights, because that's definitely Joris's highlight tricks right there.
He taps his front wheel.
Yes, he's gotta stop the front wheel so he doesn't get his finger smashed with the spokes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, since they don't have brakes, you know, they... Look at that one. Oh, was having a little bit of a hard time right there.
Bon, Montpellier, one more time for Joris Bretagnol.
Yes, there is no ended. Spinning caboose. Oh!
Holding up the bike by the peg with his hip.
Absolutely. The crowd wants it. The crowd wants to see it. We don't have that much time, but he's going for it just for the crowd.
So this one won't count for the
The crowd
judges.
deserves
This
it.
only counts
The
for
crowd's
us.
so good here in Montpellier.
I mean, it's FISE.
Yeah, look at that one. Look at that one. And oh!
Eh, oh, 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 du calme. Bravo, Joris. Encore une fois, un tonnerre d'applaudissements pour
Again, a
Joris
bit of
Bretagnol,
hit
s'il
and
vous
miss
plaît.
for yours. That's gonna be a tricky one for the judges.
Look at some of the replays from one of France's finest.
The replays are so good in this case because there's so much going on. Look at that, stepping on that seat to get on the other side of the bike for that spinning gyrator. As you can hear, you know, each of these tricks have names and have some variation. Right there, it was switch foot. And here is pure Joris going with the bike around his body all the while rolling, which is a fit in itself when you don't have brakes, you know. Just so much balance, so much bike control. Yes, saving it and pulling that one. Let's see what the judges think. Definitely another rough run. While the MC Raphael Chiquet, another Flatland legend, who's won the FISE here in 2009. One of the most original rider back in the 2010s. He was also world champ actually in 2008. Only legends on that podium on all front stage and backstage.
That's the beauty about urban sports. Like, everyone that has made a legacy for himself in their discipline while performing, like, they all get featured again at these events as technical delegates, coaches, judges.
Yep. You know, and that's where the sport is definitely represented, and that's how it gets stronger, you know, with only people with the knowledge of what the sport is, and those riders that are getting a little older that can't compete anymore, that's also how they can get involved in federations, as you said, coaches. Yes.
Okay, we're just gonna have a slight delay here. As you can see on stage, the G-Shock clock went out and we need the timer.
Which means we're out of electricity for a little bit.
Yeah.
But we're gonna get back, hopefully, quickly. So far,
It's FISE, it's freestyle, these things happen.
absolutely. So far, 2 riders went through. One from Spain, Varo Hernandez, was a little bit of hit and miss, even though there were some good tricks, you know, as we saw was the score, 72 points only. And then Joris as well, the Frenchman, the spinning Frenchman with the red bike, really had a hard time pulling all of his tricks. We are waiting for the score for the second rider, for Joris, and definitely looking forward to the next rider, Julien, the new generation of French riding. For a long time, there weren't too many riders on the French scene, even though Flatland's being a strong discipline in France. We were pretty much the second country after Japan. As we'll see later on with the second group with so many Japanese riders. You know, that's where Flatland's, where it's at the strongest. Was historically, there's been so many riders coming from Japan, even though it kind of changed the game in the 2000s with riders from Europe like Marti Kuopa and Vicky Gomez, who were definitely highlights of this scene. with a lot of creative riding and lots of new tricks coming out of those guys.
But FISE is taking care of the future because there's a FISE Academy, and I think it's actually Alexandre Jumelin who is the coach for Flatland.
Absolutely, and that's also the same in Japan. They have lots of Flatland schools taken care of by all the riders like York Uno, like Yohei Uchino, still pro rider. And that's definitely new that you can now see kids that are in like 7 or 8 years old already ripping the Flatland.
Because they have the tutors, they have the guidance. I mean, back in the days, we just had to read magazines and figure it out by ourselves.
Yeah, and there were no clubs and no rooms to ride. In the meantime, I think we're going to watch some highlights from last year.
True. We have the after movie from last year with all the action that unfolded. It was pretty much like a similar weekend, very hot, and a lot went down in the weekend of 2024.
Yeah, let's check it out.
Ah, ça fait toujours plaisir de voir cette ambiance. Mais quel engouement pour les sports ici à Montpellier. C'est complètement fou, c'est extrêmement rare de voir ça. Hein. Une telle foule. D'ailleurs, le FISE est vraiment connu pour ça.
Ah oui, bah, c'est la meilleure foule au monde dans tous les sports extrêmes. Tout le monde est d'accord avec ça.
Look at all those people. The best crowd in the world, hands down. That's why we keep coming back year in and year out. 2024, Montpellier, the FISE is back.
The best of me is you. The best of me is you.
Street final. From Essex, England, Jack Clark. Yes!
I love the scenery, especially the crowd. That's my favorite thing here in FISE Montpellier. They show up to every single event. Doesn't matter what you're riding. Doesn't matter what the event is. They show up and they make so much noise.
Yeah, double
backflip, perfect.
This is what we come to the FISE for. This energy is found nowhere else in the world. The best crowd, the best energy. Montpellier!
So we want to thank FISE for actually renaming the BMX Spine Ramp competition to the Pat Casey Memorial Spine Ramp competition.
Pat Casey forever.
C'est l'heure de la dernière danse. C'est son rêve d'adieu, Montpellier. À Mathias Dandois, s'il vous plaît.
C'est juste énorme. Énorme.
This could be the year of his life, and I would love to watch that happen. Double backflip! Yes!
C'est une machine, Anthony Jean-Jean.
Your FISE 2024 Park Champion from France, Anthony Jean-Jean!
Truck
driver down the step down. So much speed, backflip, that was huge.
Doubled up at the FISE. As always, a big thanks to all the sponsors for making the FISE possible. A big, big thank you to everybody behind the scenes. I say it every day, but all the volunteers, everybody working the doors, we appreciate all of your help. It would not be possible to pull this off if it wasn't for all the people and staff at the FISE. Thank you so much.
We hope to see you back for the next FISE in Shanghai, and see you next year at FISE Montpellier 2025. So that was all the action from last year, and we're pretty close to wrapping up this FISE event as well. Some fun facts: this year we had 1,400 athletes competing from 65 countries all around the globe. And we want to thank all the volunteers for helping out this weekend as well, because we had close to 600 volunteers helping around here on the festival site.
Yeah, without those people, none of this would be possible. Same as the sponsors, you know, it's just part of the crew usually. Oh, and here's the scores. Oh, 63 points. Definitely
66.
Tough one. Yeah, so many touches. That definitely was deadly for him.
I'm going to give the other riders, Julien Parent and Yigen Omotehara. We're going to give him 1 more minute of warming up.
2 minutes to warm up.
And then we'll get back to the action. I think like on the right-hand side of the stage, we can see Ryan Williams, I think.
Is there?
Maybe he's inspired by all the Flatland action.
You can also see Mathias Dornois with the gopher hat over there. Definitely the legend who's won so many FISE.
Now, this is almost the end for FISE World Montpellier, but in 6 months' time, no, wait, even less, 4 months' time, we're going to the next FISE World Series, and then we will be going to Shanghai in China. Welcome to this FISE World Series here in Shanghai.
One of the greatest cities in the world, FISE Shanghai. Let them hear you! All right, mate.
So we're back here at FISE World Montpellier, the last event of the weekend, which is the UCI BMX Flatland World Cup. As you can see,
I didn't do that. That's on the other side now.
the riders.
The water is attacking people.
Yes, we have a little water coming from the roof. It's been raining a little bit for the end of the day, even though the past 4 days have been scorching heat.
And then the wind picked up as well.
Yep, absolutely.
So that is coming into play too. But as you can see, the floor managers, they're sweeping the floor. They want to make sure that these athletes have pristine conditions to ride in.
Especially for Flatland, you know, it's got to be clean and dry, otherwise this can't happen. Since they got their feet in contact with the rubber, and rubber on wood, wet wood is never a good option.
And they ride with pretty slick tires as well.
Absolutely, and also don't forget that they got so much pressure in these BMX Flatland tires. We're talking about 100 PSI, you know, which is super hard, just like road bikes, actually.
If you would ever go and watch a Flatland competition, you gotta listen to the bikes creaking from all the stress.
Absolutely, that the riders put the bike through. Yeah, it's usually people don't realize also the work needed to get those tricks. We're talking, you know, like Alex Juman that we'll be seeing in the second group from France. Well, first off, he's already 48 years old, but also he's been riding for almost 30 years, you know, so. And most of these guys have been at least riding for 10 years. Riding every day, we're talking about 2-3 hours a day at least.
Now we've been talking about all the talents that we've seen in Japan. Well, actually last year, FISE went to Japan for another World Cup on the island of Enoshima. So let's see what that was all about.
Welcome to the first stop in the UCI World Cup. We are here in the beautiful nation of Japan. The tradition, the culture, Japan has this blend of modern and ancient, past and future.
And Oshima makes some noise!
And welcome back at FISE World Montpellier, the first stop of this season. We're still here for the UCI BMX Flatland World Cup Finals. Now, unfortunately, we had a bit of a weather delay, but we're back in the booth here together with my good friend Lionel Cardoso.
Thank you. Yes, already 2 riders down. We're still in the first group. We just started. The scores have been down for those 2 riders. And they're not that high. The highest score right now is 72.5 for Varo Hernandez. And there's still a lot that can come through in this contest. And I'm sure there will be, especially with this next rider from France, Julien Baron, the new upcoming rider in a quite aging scene, you know, not gonna lie.
Yeah, I mean, Matthias, who has stopped competing on professional level. Alexandre, close to his 50s now. I'm sorry, Alexandre.
48.
48.
Still ripping.
Yeah, I mean,
he's in the finals, you know.
I think like a lot of people would pay for that to like be at that age and still be on top of his game.
And still innovating every day, still in the real spirit of BMX Flatland, you know, looking for new tricks, working hard, and not resting on his laurels and old tricks that he's been doing for ages. What he does now, he wasn't doing 2 years ago, which is insane at this age, that keeping the momentum and the energy and the stamina when you know, 48, I'm 50 already. And I know what I'm talking about. It's getting tricky, and he's still here. He's still in the top 5 worldwide, representing an each and every big contest that matter, and doing podiums, which is great. He was just doing 2nd place last week in Switzerland, you know. So we chose. He's still in the game. All right, they're almost ready to go. Another 30 seconds of warm up for the 2 final riders of this first group. Julien Baron from France, Yigen Omoteara from Japan. The surprise of this weekend, Yigen, the youngster from Japan, first time ever in international contests. which is great to see. So many young kids that we never get to see from Japan. Unfortunately, until recently, until 4 or 5 years ago, they weren't really used to travel around and coming to the international events. And that definitely has changed with riders like the ones we're gonna see in Group 2. Yu Shoji, Yu Katagiri, Kiyo Ayakawa were definitely the new wave of Japanese riding, leading the pack. And up next, as we just said, here is the French rider, Julien Baron, making sure the floor is ready. This is really stressful for the riders to not have the right conditions.
The number 7 from the World Championships and the bronze medalist from the European Championships.
Yes, and it looks like it's raining a little bit again on site. And that's tough. That's definitely nerve-wracking for the riders to have to wait, start and stop, you know, train and warm up again.
Or is it the rain that was still on the roof that is being blown out by the wind?
It looks like it's been raining again on site, so we have to wait a little bit more. But hopefully that's gonna get sorted. The stage is so hot for the past 4 days that it dries up pretty quick. But still.
Also, a shout out to the man in the white t-shirt. That is Andy Zeiss.
Absolutely, one of the men behind the scenes, European, definitely organizer of many great contests all year long, worldwide.
Urban sports consultant, let's say.
Yeah, doing it for all the big brands.
He was also talking earlier at the Urban Sports Summit that Hurricane held here to talk about the development of urban sports, the development of urban sports events. And it's thanks to him that BMX and skateboarding and all these other big brands have gotten the podium.
Yeah, absolutely. Definitely helping BMX to get the exposure, getting the brands involved into making great events. You know, some of the biggest companies have confidence in Andy to pull off great events. That's as simple as that, which is great. He's also been a team manager for many years, being emceeing like the crazy Nitro Circus tours. So definitely involved for the past 20 years in the scene. Since back the Worlds in Cologne, you know, Germany, those legendary events.
Now you're tickling my mid-school heart as well.
So Andy's definitely been in the game for a long, long, long time. Definitely.
BMX Worlds. That's a legendary and infamous event, let's say.
Absolutely. Just for the people that are not in the know, we have a little time to explain what the Worlds are all about. They were happening back in Cologne in Germany.
And those were the unofficial World Championships?
They were pretty much the official, unofficial.
Official, unofficial, yeah. Officious.
Worlds. But everybody, it was pretty much the meeting every year where all the riders from all around the world would gather when BMX wasn't as, you know, celebrity orientated, I would say.
Like there was still an edge off, let's say. Like it was, I mean, it was organized in a professional manner, but not as professional as the standard that we have today.
Yeah, absolutely. Because BMX wasn't involved in the Olympics, and there weren't so much at play, you know. People were just there to have fun and enjoy riding bikes and have a great weekend, as simple as that.
I just had a look at the live chat that we have on YouTube, and we have Terry Adams checking in.
Oh, really? Wow, awesome. Terry Adams unfortunately couldn't make it this year for FISE. He's a regular here each and every year, doing those crazy combos. Shout out to Terry back in New Orleans, US of A, one of USA finest.
That's also a very famous event in New Orleans, right? That's the Voodoo Jam?
Voodoo Jam, absolutely. And that's Terry taking care of it. with Scott O'Brien. Shout out to Scott. He's the one in control. And we have to put the contest on hold for now because of the rain. It's getting really tricky to get that stage ready and nice and rolling for the riders.
Now, if you're still looking for some literature for this summer to read by the pool, well, while we were talking about Voodoo Jam, it's actually mentioned in the first chapter of Mathias Dandois' book. It mentions his adventure as an 80-year-old boy going to New Orleans, winning the Voodoo Jam at only 18 years old.
Absolutely, it was for one of his first trip abroad, and one of the most memorable one that indeed starts his biography that just came out 6 months ago.
Yeah.
And it's crazy to get a glimpse of what's going on behind the scenes, you know, all the stories from back in the days when, you know, the sports was really starting to get bigger, and there was much more involved back then. When we compare it to like the 90s or the early 2000s, you know, there wasn't as much money. And when Matthias came up, that's where the money started pouring in, the sponsors getting bigger. And that's definitely history right there in that book. And it was really interesting to revive this whole era, as you just said, the mid-school and late mid-school, actually, early 2000s. When Matthias was coming up.
So the fans
think
it's a perfect occasion to go and ask for some autographs from Alexandre Jumelin.
Definitely.
Alexandre Jumelin, the #1 David Beckham lookalike. I had to mention it.
Yeah. Millions of views for that one. Is he riding BMX Beckham? No, it's only Alex. Oh, it is.
Allez, on croise les doigts, Montpellier.
Yes. So many legends on that stage. We saw earlier the judges, Alexis Desaulneux, doing a company called Hérésie, French bikes manufacturer, really involved in the scene as well, doing a lot for Flatland for so many years. He was himself a legend, doing a lot of original tricks way before YouTube was a big thing. But one of the early video riders, he wasn't doing that many contests. It wasn't really that his thing, but he was doing crazy parts for VHS. That shows how old that is.
I remember the time waiting for a video to come out or a DVD to come out. Now it's all on Instagram the day itself.
Ouais, l'averse, elle va passer. Après, il va faire beau.
So, as our volunteers, we even have the UCI technical delegate Bart de Jong helping us to sweep.
Trying to get everything ready as quick as possible. I think we're going to take that time to watch the highlights of the first two riders. Here is Varo Hernandez. Oh, yes, look at that exit. Perfect. Half cab right there, 180 out. Going street style. And that one, that's the signature trick we were talking about earlier. Going to that Christ position on the pedal. Switch-footed, hands off, and also the signature move right there, going from the front wheel to the back wheel, jumping on the other side of the bike. And here are the big tricks from Joris. Oh, stepping up on that seat to get on the other side of the bike to the spinning position. Look at that, so fluid, so much flow. Yes, spinning on those pegs, twisting the feet around. And that one, oh, insane. Both feet on the pedal and off. So much bike control, unfortunately, for Joris. A lot of hit and miss and a lot of touches get him from a higher score than what he got, which is 63.66, which is pretty low for finals. Usually we're more in the 80s. and you know, too many feet down on that one to make it shine. Unfortunately for Joris.
Well, he still has his second run, so we'll have
No,
to.
only one run here for Flatland. 3 minutes.
Right, excuse me,
Yep.
I was mistaken.
Yeah.
Another piece of French BMX Flatland culture, Stereo Panda.
Now we're going way back.
I have like all these like unlocked memories now. Yeah, very colorful brand.
Yeah, one that came out of BMX Flatland with two legends,
Prise de
Alex
risque maximum pour nous
Dumoulin
sauver l'air
and
de
Jimmy
flat.
Petite.
Éliminer toute cette pluie là qui
And
reste
that made it to
stockée
the
en haut.
mainstream. There are not too many brands out of BMX that go into the mainstream, just like in skateboard, you know, like for a long while, a lot of people were having etnies or now
C'est
wear
aussi
Vans,
ça,
you know,
le
moms and dads, they wear Vans.
On
I
fait
even
tout
think we had a
pour sauver les meubles.
local sneaker
va avoir
shop
lieu,
that
vous
was
allez voir.
carrying Stereo Panda, even though we had no Flatland scene whatsoever
That's
at our
crazy.
place. Yeah.
That's crazy. Here's a little reminder of how it all works. 2 heats of 4 riders. We've had the group 1, 2 first riders. They have one run of 3 minutes. One run only 1 chance. 3 minutes can be kind of long, kind of short at the same time, depending on the rider and the style. But the judges, they gonna give an overall note based on different criteria,
Allez, du bruit pour David
which
là-haut, il est
are
en train de nous sauver les
difficulty,
meubles.
flow, style,
Vas-y David.
and the consistency that's also coming into play. As I mentioned earlier, foot down is usually not good for the judges.
Will cost you points.
Yeah. Definitely depends on when it's happening.
train de retendre la
If
bâche
it's at
en
the end of
direct.
the combo is a combination of tricks. And as we saw earlier with the 2
Yes.
riders, the more tricks you put into a combo, the more points you get.
Sorry.
Santa Claus looks different
Also
in the
originality, that's the big thing. BMX Flatland is all about being creative, bringing your own flavor. And as you saw, oh, here's the Ryan Williams pimping his gold medal right there.
I bumped into him just before this broadcast. He went to the scooter bestiary competition.
Oh wow!
He asked someone, "Can I use your scooter?" And then he did this flip trick into a grind, which
Wow.
got him that gold medal.
Crazy.
Also, a really funny guy to work with in the booth. We've had him for the World Cup in the freestyle competitions for both men and women, and we've had such a great show. And he's really good at dissecting tricks. So when we have the slow-mos playing, like he can point out what went well or what went bad in the trick.
Yeah, with so much experience. And I want to mention that this is what BMX is all about. You know, where else are you going to see a park rider come and cheer for the BMX Flatland guys, you know? That's what BMX, the BMX family is. You know, we were talking earlier about the world in Cologne, you know, back in the days. And that's what, you know, everybody would gather around no matter what discipline you were in, no matter if you were a street rider or dirt jumper or Flatland.
Like after the park contest, you would go and get a beer and watch a dirt contest.
Absolutely.
And then after a dirt contest, you would go and check out the Flatland contest. And then you would go to the after party.
And that's what is still happening. That's what is so great to see, you know, that BMX spirit.
I mean, here on stage as well, we saw David Aubert, the DJ, playing, and right behind him is Anthony Jean just chilling.
Absolutely. That's great. Still trying to get that floor cleared and clean. Not easy conditions. Unfortunately, we had such a great weekend. That's a shame that we couldn't go all the way. But they're gonna make it happen. You know, it's in Montpellier. Hopefully.
Si vous voulez, je chante, mais il va falloir faire plus de bruit alors.
There is Raphael Chiquet, your MC for the event. Definitely a legend. And now, getting into a music career, as you can see. Doing a little promo right there.
That's his band?
No, that's his latest single.
Dandy Mania.
Yep, absolutely.
I mean, he looks like a dandy.
That's actually a song dedicated to Matthias Dandois.
Oh.
Here is the little...
Is it playing right now?
Yep, here's the music. Bring it on. 80s rock to the best. Yep, there is.
I was not expecting live performance by Raphaël Chiquet.
That's what we get. Check him out, definitely. His name is Chiquet. His last name as the band's name. Spotify, he's got his music on there. So that's what you do once you're done riding. Not only living the rock lifestyle on the bike, but in real life as well.
I wonder what's going on in the heads of Japanese riders right now. You travel halfway across the world and then there's this crazy French guy singing to this 80 drum beat.
Oh yeah. Joke aside, just can't wait for the next riders. Definitely big names on that list. Riders that have been doing it big here at the FISE and worldwide, especially the Japanese riders. Guys like Kiyo, Ayakawa was being on a streak lately, same as Yu Katagiri. I was hoping for his brother to be here, actually. Rio is also another highlight in the scene right now, going crazy with originality. Those guys definitely bringing next level tricks and flattened parts online. Getting a get-go, getting the thumbs up from the chief himself, Hervé.
A sweeper solo.
Yeah, there it is. Air guitar, madness. Here is Hervé, the organizer since 1997.
And he's asking the same question. What is going on? Why is Raphaël Chiquet singing this song?
Keeping the crowd entertained for sure. And that's the best way to have him wait for the riders to come back in. There it is, killing it.
We're gonna let
Oh boy.
And
our last two riders in this heat warm up.
They're gonna
3
get back
minutes of
some
warm
warm
up.
up to make sure everybody is on the same line. Everybody gets his fair chance to perform their best tricks
3 minutes
in
de
the best
warm-up.
conditions.
Les riders décideront ensuite si c'est
That
roulable.
makes it
Ça m'a l'air
tough, you know,
parfaitement
start
roulable.
and go like this.
So
La fête
3
va donc
minutes
pouvoir continuer et battre à son plein.
to everybody at home watching on the live stream. Thanks for being patient. The weather's been amazing all week. We'll take a little bit of rain. We're going to get this contest done. Thanks for being patient, everybody watching worldwide on the live stream.
Oh yes, the word from Zach,
On a bien fait d'attendre. Ça
aka
y est,
Catfish,
c'est sec.
the official MC for almost 20 years
All right,
Yeah.
let's start
here
that
at the
clock,
FISE.
please.
That's crazy.
now on the French commentator side, we had a bit of we have new talents.
Inès,
Yeah.
So for the
j'en
UCI
profite pour remercier Inès.
Freestyle World Cup, we didn't have Pierre Wilhelm anymore. He unfortunately couldn't make it, but he was replaced by Macron.
Steve Macro, yes, another legend of the scene from Marseille, south of France, doing crazy tricks back in the days in the bowl over there at the Prado, legendary spot.
And then on the spine ramp, we did not see TDB,
Oh,
which
yeah.
is short for Thomas
De Baptiste.
Desbaptiste. And
Yep, shout out to Thomas.
yeah, and he was replaced by Thomas Lemoine,
Yes,
the crazy freestyle mountain biker.
absolutely.
He did a really good job putting up a show.
Oh yeah, yesterday he's also performed as Lil Moyne, his rap alias. That was so good to see, and he was such a good entertainer. He really gave it up yesterday, gave the flowers to BMX, as he said that he's been here at the FISE when he was a kid and started riding here on the dirt jumps on the mountain bike, but just couldn't help to have an insane good time with BMX riders.
The mountain bike slopestyle contest. That
Yep.
is 2015?
Yep, Exactly.
It's been a while.
Well, he was there for 5 years actually. Mountain bike.
Yeah.
We really miss. Right, they're back on the warm-up.
I think it even was an FMB series contest.
Absolutely.
With the gold, I think gold status.
Yep.
So a lot of points at stake. Just like this World Cup. I mean, the winner gets 1,000 points for the UCI ranking.
Yes, 3 events. 3 events all year long. This one is the first one. We're gonna have another one in Shanghai, China. And we'll finish the UCI circuit in Japan.
Yeah, in the city of Sakai.
Absolutely.
Now, if you're a rider and you're watching, keep in mind there's 2 Sakais in in Japan. There's one close to Osaka, so on the west side, but it's actually the Sakai just a bit north of Tokyo. So if you're thinking of planning to go, keep that in mind. Book the right tickets to the right airport and not the other side of the island.
Fun fact that we learned at the USS, the Urban Sports Summit, the Sakai mayor was there.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was crazy. He mentioned that it was the world's biggest city for fireworks. They have the biggest fireworks in the world happening in Sakai.
Well, then it's going to be an explosive event.
Absolutely.
And I think Sakai is a 3-year contract?
Yep, absolutely. They just signed it 3 days ago, and it's on for 3 years of FISE at Sakai, in Sakai, which is going to be great. Such a great venue.
I mean, FISE has a vision. Because they also released, I mean, the day before that, they released the 2026-2032 program with way more events all around the world. And totally new events as well. And it's time for Julien Baron.
Yes, we are back into action. Warm-up is done. Definitely a tough one for these guys to get back into it because they've been starting and going for 30 minutes already. And now it's on. Time to get the fire eyes
from a
lit.
small village called La Chapelle. This is
La
Julien
Chapelle.
Baron.
Oh yes, in Normandy, west of France, north west of France. Upcoming rider, the future of French Flatland. He's been training right in front of his house, in the street.
Just,
like crazy small street. All right, let's get into it. No time for joking now. He's got to mean business. If you want to get on that podium, on the back wheel, let's see what he's got. Look at the exit. The exit is where it's going to make points right there. Oh, the bike flip out. Crazy.
Only 19 years old, doing it for We the People and G-Shock.
Yes. All right, spinning them bars to get into the spinning dump truck. Upside down. Wheelie right there. With the switch foot, he's got the opposite foot on the peg. Ooh, yeah, getting the bike around. Let's see how he's gonna get out of that one. Ooh, going into the stable dock. Getting the bike around the back. So much flow, so much style. Oh my God, on the pedal right there.
Standing on the side.
And pumping. Such a hard feat right there. Ooh.
Allez, Julien.
So good. Oh, touching the wheel. But he wants another way out. Look at that one. Yes, one-handed. Spinning dump truck. Nice and clean. Ooh, what a combo to start things with. Already 1 minute, 15 seconds left only after this crazy combo.
Come on, Montpellier.
front wheel action right now, spinning the bars on that steamroller where he holds the seat and the bars. Switching the feet on the peg.
Back in the fakie.
Yep. Let's see the out. Oh, going into the half cab whopper, which is the Flatland name for tail whip.
Fakey whopper or a fakey whip.
Invented first time by Bill Newman back in the days, back in the 90s already. Yes. Oh, that's a crazy move right there. If he can pull that one, that's gonna score high. He's back at it. Look at that one. He's gonna. Oh no, he's back into another variation. No-handed spinning dump truck right there, lawnmower. Oh, on the pedals,
yes.
Time machine. Yeah, there it is. In great form, right on the buzzer, right on time. And that's really important for the judges. If the combo is not pulled before the last second, it doesn't count. So that's definitely something to watch out for the judges.
3 years ago, and he's
Super long combos, not that many Shrek in those combos, and that might impair his score. But lots of difficult moves. That's where the difficulty is gonna get into the notation. Look at that, the stable duck out. Lots of variation still. And that one, oh yeah, going around the back wheel straight onto the pedals into that junkyard position.
I mean, he steps into it so effortless.
Yeah, that's also where Styles, he's got so much flow. That's where the judges are gonna give him points for that. He does all those tricks, making it look easy. Once again, all this work paying out. Couple touches, not so important. Look at that one, half cap, whooper, nice and clean, and the time machine, no-ended. Shout out to Marty Kuopa on that one. Yes. Let's see what the judges think. He knows it's a tough one. Oh, there it is, 84. Getting those scores up.
Breaking through the 80-point barrier.
Yep. We'll see if that's going to be enough to get on the podium, but usually we're more chasing for the 90s. And here is the surprise of the weekend here on the BMX Flatland stage. It's Yigen Omoteara. Only 19 years old, youngster from Japan, first international contest for him. You can imagine the pressure on his shoulders right now. Being in the finals here at the FISE with such an energetic crowd. There it is. Oh. Switch foot nose wheelie. Oh! Straight into bar spin. Super original bar spin steamroller with only the foot helping the switch. Oh, look at that one. So good. So good. Back and forth, they call it the turbine. Yes, saving it. He's happy.
2 minutes 30 seconds.
Can't see much of the stress in his face, smiling. And there he is. Oh, touching the quick touch. Having a bit of a hard time, but the crowd is bumping him. Alright, back into it. Ooh, switching the bars into that rolling position. They call it the half-backer. Oh, back and forth. Yeah! Wanted that cross-footed exit. So much pressure on him for this big international first-timer. Look at these crazy switches around the bars, all the while rolling. And look at the feet on those pegs. That's where the action is happening. The feet changing position all the while is rolling. Oh, yes. This is what I was talking about. Going to cross-footed, where you have his legs crossed.
That is a move to break your ankles with.
Absolutely. And he's not done. 1 minute to go. 1 minute for him to try to make his chance to get on that podium. There is that nose wheelie when he's riding forward with both feet on the pedal. A bit like the Kevin Perazza move on the street course. 30 seconds. Oh yeah, this one, G-turn, switch foot. Super good, jumping over the frame into the steamroller. Oh my God, that was good. Oh. 20 seconds left, here is back into it. That G-turn is going front to back on the pedal. Oh yeah! And going over the frame to get that exit, and he's going to call it right there with the 360. Bunny up.
The 90-year-old from Nagai, Japan, Yugen Omotehara.
Already stoked to be in the finals, you know, at such a young age, with so much competition. Oh, look at that one, the switch. Flipping the bars with just 1 foot in contact of the tire. So much originality also for this young man right there. That's not a given, you know. A lot of the kids usually come up copying other riders, and he's already having his own little style going on, and the judges will definitely appreciate that. But there were quite a lot of touches that might keep him off the podium, unfortunately. Still, look at that exit, so good, going over the frame to kick the front wheel back into pulling that trick. Let's see what the judges think. He knows he kind of messed the head on that one, but definitely one to watch.
I mean, what a debut for his first World Cup.
Absolutely. Definitely will be watching this little man. Oh, there it is, 66. That's rough. But as you said, being in the finals for the first international, that's great.
Ok, on passe au warm-up pour le groupe numéro 2. Dans ce groupe, nous aurons bien sûr Alex Jumelin de Saint-Blaise en France, représentant
just wrapped up the first heat of riders. Alvaro Hernandez, Joris Bretagnol, Julien Baron, and Yugen Omotehara. Still a bit over 2 minutes for the next heat to warm up, which will be a battle of the French against the 3 Japanese.
So much action already in this first group. No clean run, unfortunately. Quite a bit of hit and miss, but still lots of crazy tricks and lots of originality for these first 4 riders. Let's see what that was all about.
So those were all the impressive maneuvers that we saw from the first 4 riders. So up until now, we have Julien Baron in the lead with the 84.66, followed by Alvaro Hernandez with the 72.50, Jigen Omotohara with the 66.16, and then Joris Bertragnol with a 63.66.
Yes, quite some chances for Julien to maybe get next to the podium. He's already in the top 5 since we already...
So that's already an improvement from last year where he got the 8th spot.
Yep, absolutely. And that's where you see the progression of these guys, even though everybody is keeping up big time.
Julien Baron currently in first place with an 84.66. He gets to sit back and watch.
But still,
as our next
4 more riders.
are chasing him.
So welcome back to the FISE World Series. It's the last event of the weekend, and that is the UCI BMX Flatland World Cup, man. And the people are going insane. They're getting rowdy because the next contestant is gonna be one of their own, Alexandre Jumelin.
Yes, Alex has been coming to this contest since it started in '97 and has been at every and each of one of these. He's the only rider who actually attended all these events. And he's been shining every year without fail. Almost making it to the finals each and every year. Definitely one to watch with his unique ninja style. Oh yeah, look at that. So many tricks in this first combo already. I just can't name it all. Look at that. Going cross-footed. Crossing his legs all the while he's riding, rolling. Ooh. The crowd definitely behind him. After all these years, definitely a legend in the house, on the stage right now. Oh, here is some of his signature moves with the G-turns and the half cab. Oh, there it is, the half cab boomerang, straight to the pedals. Here is the 720 G-turn, going back and forth. This requires so much strength. Nothing for him, the gym buff that he is. There is pure Alex right there. So many tricks in one combo. Switching positions. Not even in seconds. Oh, here is the switch foot max circle. Oh, with both feet on the tire. Ooh. Little touch right there.
But the crowd keeps hyping it up. You can hear all the allez, allez, allez. Go, go, go.
Yep. With all his friends, his family in the crowd supporting him. With his 3 sons and wife. Look at that one. Watch this. Ooh, he wants something more. He wants something more. He wants the double one. The half cab double boomerang.
Boomerang swinging around the head cube, holding onto the bars.
Absolutely. With all your effort. Oh, there it is, almost. He wants it. He's back into the G-turn again. Half cab is when you're rolling backward. Ooh. And getting the bike back into the right position. Plastic Man grabbing the seat in his back. That's another signature move right there. Pure Alex. Everything you see is fully invented by the man himself, as he developed his own style over the years and reinvented so many times his own riding, never resting on his laurels. There it is! The backward boomerang straight into the switch foot. Steamroller. Incredible. Wow. So many tricks again from Alex for these finals. Quite a hard day today for all the riders. But still, with everything you see being Alex signed,
So now we play a waiting game.
that's definitely going to score for the judges.
One of the greatest French flatlanders.
A very technical and aggressive kind of run.
Absolutely. So different from all the other riders too. You know, you can, you could recognize Alex riding even in the dark.
Like nobody's business.
That's crazy. Look at that. Yeah, he's got that one.
He's rolling backwards.
And at the very end, here it is.
1.5
He's
to
almost.
cross-footed steamroller out.
Yes. He's got it. So hard for the judges, you know. That's where originality might come in and make the difference. Difficulty as well.
Is Alex Jumelin jumping over his compatriot? Unfortunately not. The 73.83.
That's the kind of riding where you gotta get it perfect. Otherwise, it doesn't make the cut.
Still a very decent score, the 67.83.
And still seeing him in the finals at 48, that's just a feat in itself, you know. But the guy could definitely be on the podium. He got fourth in the semifinals, you know. There is the man to watch.
The number 4 from last year. The number 1 from Shanghai.
He's won here in the past. Not last year, not the year before, but he's won. And he has nothing to prove. He's shown some crazy new tricks on his socials in the past couple weeks. So let's see if he's gonna drop that. Oh, straight into action. Switch foot, upside down wheelie. Getting some speed, pumping. Oh, the bike varial straight into the cruising light yard right there. Without touching any parts of the bike. Yes! Getting his bike around like nothing. Flipping it. On the pedal, straight into the time machine, pedaling it. He's not done yet. He's not done yet. Look at that one. Back into the peg wheelie. He wants something more. He wants the exit out. Look at this one. Straight from the tire, hopefully. Yes! Onto the pedal, cross-legged. With his leg crossed. Right after this insane jump over the head tube.
We have to see that in the replays. So much was going on.
Oh yeah.
All the madness from Kiyo Hayakawa.
Combo that was over a minute long. Time machine, there it is, pedaling. Oh, going into the cross leg again, pedaling into that insane, impossible position to hold, and he's doing it. Once again, look at the feet. That's where the footwork is happening.
Ankle
on the
breaking
pegs.
maneuvers.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, look at that one. Back on the pedal like nothing, and he's back into that pedaling action. No-handed. Oh yeah, look at the foot. Look at the foot, twisted 180 on the pedal.
How did his ankles hold on?
That's not even the craziest part. The craziest part is grabbing the bars in his back and getting over that head tube backwards. Just insane. I got no words. And he's back at it. Look at that one. Oh, first mistake in an otherwise perfect run. Only 45 seconds left. He's done like 2 combos so far, which is crazy.
It's a unique pedal setup.
Oh yeah, look at that. Going straight from the metal into the pedaling time machine. Oh, having a bit of a hard time.
High risk, high reward.
Yep. Again, so much originality. Everything you see right there is coming out of this man's imagination. All right, let's see what he's got. Oh,
yes.
Insane over the head tube. 3 seconds left. Yeah, that's not gonna count for the judges, unfortunately. Oh, the bike flip. And he's gonna call it right there. Showing love and appreciation for the crowd, giving it back. Wow, 2 minutes were so hot and insane. So mental to see all these tricks happening. Look at that one. Switch foot, flipping the bike around into that rolling position, not touching anything else but the pegs. All the while rolling.
Some of the flatland tricks are kind of funny.
And look at that one.
What?
He's going one way and then the other way while starting pedaling.
But he has so many crazy outs.
What an innovator.
Yep, definitely.
Kept it going right here.
We haven't seen that much innovation since Marty Kuopa on the back wheel. Just to let you know how crazy this man is going. And that one, bang, jumping over the head tube.
Landing cross-footed.
Yep, cross-legged on the pedal, straight, no brakes, just pure balance right there. And there it is. Oh boy, this one, he's pedaling upside down.
Kicks back the pedal.
With his legs crossed, no-ended time machine. And look at that, he's grabbing the bars behind his back. Once again, there's no contact with the wheels whatsoever. This is just impossible. This is like nobody would even imagine doing this just a couple years back. And he's doing the impossible right there. Ooh, 78. The judges are a little bit tough on that one. But hey, they decide they're the one in the know.
One thing is for sure. Julien Baron will be on the podium.
That's insane. Wow, so good for him. Doing this on home turf. Well, at least we're in France. No.
But still, 2 more U's to go.
Yep.
First up, Yu Shoji.
Yeah, he's won here last year, and the year prior was insane runs. And we know he's got it for the gold medal. Let's see if he can make it happen today in these conditions.
The world champion of 2023.
UCI rainbow jersey holder. All right, 3 minutes on that clock. And he's also a man of many original tricks. On the front wheel mainly. Let's see what he's got. Look at that speed. Look at that flow, that execution. That's also what the judges want to see. Spinning that steamroller position. Switching the feet. Look at that, back and forth, back and forth. Look at that position. He's about ready to jump. On the other side of the bike as well.
First trick down, that's exactly what you want to do.
3 moves in one. Spinning the bars, jumping on the other side of the bike, jumping on the other wheel at the same time.
There was so much going on in that link.
Insane. And look at that. Body varial, which means he does a 360 on himself into that rolling position called the half-backer. And again, that body varial straight around the bars, jumping on those pedals like it's nothing. Just that out is crazy. And that's something that's been changing in Flatland. You know, usually just 3-4 years back. And look at that one. Yes, Alfaker, and again that body varial going cross-footed. That's insane. Going to reach the seat behind his back to get into that position like it's nothing. It's pure magic going on, and again spinning the bars around his back into the whiplash to get out. Wow, all these exits are so crazy, just as crazy as the main tricks. You know, there's no main tricks anyway anymore. Everything is just out there and original. Oh, going over the frame from the back wheel to the front wheel, straight into that switch foot. Wow, here's the wheel shit jump straight into the switch foot. Mega spin out, insane. Yu Shoji on fire. So far, no touches, perfect run. But hey, we got 30 seconds to go. God knows what is about to happen. And he does it again, from back to front this time. Getting the whole bike, and here is the signature double boomerang. Oh boy, he wants it. He wants to show the crowd what's this all about.
He wants to win FISE Montpellier back-to-back.
Nice and clean, without a doubt. Here is the the double boomerang. It was just one touch on the tire while the whole bike is off the ground. So much bike control.
Will Yu Shoji score the hat trick? Will he take 3 FISE Montpelliers in a row?
Well, there's one man between him and that first place podium, and that's another Yu. But look at the replay, look at the crowd, shocked by this crazy jump from the front wheel to the back wheel. And look at the feet on that one. Look at the feet work going around the bars. Straight back to the, and again. Yes, fancy footwork right there. All the while rolling and getting the bike to just move around the head tube right there in what they call the whiplash. From the back wheel to the front wheel, jumping over that frame, landing in a switch foot position. That's just so many tricks happening. Look at that. With his hand holding the seat between his legs. You could catch a little glimpse of the magic right there.
So,
oh, he's a happy man. He's done a lot of tricks. Oh, and there it is. 90.16. We're talking Evan territory right there. When you pass the gate of the 90s, you know you're touching the angels. But there's one man standing on that stage, and he too can pretend and go for that gold medal here.
It's the national champion of Japan, Yu Katagiri.
He's
pretty much winning every Japanese contest possible.
Even the X Games. So you know he's got what it takes. And the thing is, what you're about to witness is just pure madness on the BMX Flatland. Even most of the pros on that stage don't understand how I can do some of the tricks it does. Look at that one, look at that one. Oh, making it look so easy. Full bike flip, Undertaker out. So crazy. We're talking 15 tricks into one combo in just 20 seconds. That's insane. And look at that one. Look at that one. Oh, look at the feet again. So much going on, jumping on that pedal backwards. Ooh.
The stakes are high.
Oh yeah, and the pressure. And also the crowd, you know, the crowd can come into play, you know, into stress. Can be a good thing, or it can, you know, play on your nerves. Look at that one! Oh boy! Jumping on that pedal, switch foot, all the while rolling backwards. At this point, there's just so many tricks for me to name. I'm just not gonna go. Look at that! Flipping the bike, rolling around the world. Flipping the bike, and look at the exit on that one. Oh, no! No! Switching his foot on the pedal and pumping it. It was just having no speed to full speed. And look at that, the bike flipped straight into the rope Roni and Undertaker out. Oh my, just insane upon insanity. Katagiri is just pulling the impossible, doing his artist tricks in the run for these finals. Ooh. And that could change everything right there. That might be the moment that changes everything for the podium.
He was on a medal run.
Oh yeah, definitely. Let's see if he can make it until the end. He's going for the full bike flip. Oh, we still got time to do it. We want to see that one. That one is just insane. He's making the bike flip 360. Oh, let's see if that's gonna happen. Everybody wants to see that one. They got to see it in the semis, and there it is, right on time. But it's not pulled, so that might not count for the judges. We'll see what they think. He wants to pull it all the way without touching the ground. Yes, look at the... Oh my! He just can't stop. He just won't stop. No way! The no-footed levitating in the air, just holding the peg and the bar with the 2 feet off while spinning. Oh boy. I can't believe how he finished this run, even though he was out of time.
Yeah, but you was breaking the barriers of what was possible on a bike.
Yep. Just like, you know, guys like Marty Kuopa and Vicky Gomez, we were talking about these guys earlier. He's just redefining Flatland right there with other guys like Kyo. Definitely bringing new possibilities, opening new doors.
Pioneering.
Oh yeah, that we thought we couldn't, you know, people couldn't even imagine those tricks just like 3 years ago. And they're definitely writing a new chapter of BMX Flatland right there on that stage. And it's so crazy to see that they actually can master those tricks that, you know, there are video tricks. You know, back in the days they would pull that only on video, and now they're doing it
after 100, 1,000 tries. Just look at the faces of the people of Montpellier getting hyped as he lands it, as he sticks it.
Look at that one, full flip. He's the only one in the world to do that one this way. And then the rest of this last combo was just out there. Unfortunately, that was out of time. But look at that, straight full flip to the pedal, spinning. And this one is gonna be levitating, no-footed. Oh, wow. This is Copperfield territory right there. Nobody can figure that one out.
But we'll have to be honest, we did see some small foot taps, minor crashes. How is that going to affect the score? One thing is for sure, one Frenchie on the podium, two Japanese on the podium.
Yeah, which one, we don't know yet, but definitely that's a tough one for the judges.
Ooh.
They gotta talk about this one because there was so much madness happening in this run, even though, you know, there were some touches, as you mentioned, but the originality factor was way up in the sky on this one.
And Montpellier got quite the show to end the FISE World Series Festival here in Montpellier.
Oh yeah, and this is what Flatland is all about. Just two friends battling it on the stage, you know, right there, side by side, waiting for the results. This is what Flatland is all about. Third place for him, and that means second place for the Frenchman, and first place for UCI, taking it once again right here in Montpellier for the third time in a row, and
hitting that hat trick.
Oh yeah, and the big surprise here, the second place for the Frenchman Julien Baron, first time on the podium on an international contest. That's definitely something to highlight and put up there, right there, 84.
The future of French Flatland is secured.
Oh, yes, with this one, that's gonna give him wings, hopefully. Not to be play wording with a sponsor, but
well, we do have to thank Red Bull for helping out this event as well, hydrating all the riders, getting the energy up.
Definitely giving him wings. And a big shout out to the crowd, making this year's event once again a standout of the World Cup series. You Choji definitely want to keep watching. A little bummer for Kyo, definitely someone that we were expecting on the podium that couldn't quite pull it.
I mean,
today.
That was all depending on Yukadagiri's last run.
Absolutely. The U's on fire again this year here at the FISE. Just can't wait for the next stop of the UCI.
What a contest that was. What a way to end the FISE. This has been the most insane BMX contest I have ever been a part of. The last 4 days have been absolutely chaos, and we ended on an incredible note. Let's go to the podium for men's pro flat. In third place, Ryan Williams is going to be presenting the awards. In third place, from Team Japan, Yu Katagiri.
Ryan Williams, maybe this inspires him to take up flatlanding himself.
Who knows?
A big thank you to Ryan Williams for coming out here. Ryan, say hi to the people. He loves it here. Second time out. Glad to have you here, Ryan.
Having
it was a hard fight.
And out the trophies. That's
in second place, his first time on the podium at a World Cup, representing France, Julien Baron.
Oh yeah, making the Montpellier's crowd proud.
He is being presented his award by none other than Anthony Jean-Jean.
Oh wow, another French superstar right there, Anthony Jean-Jean. Who got second place yesterday.
Inspiring young
BMX
French
Freestyle
kids to
Park.
pick up BMX bikes.
Wow.
And
so happy for this Frenchman, Julien.
Defending
finally gets his
World Cup
laurels.
Montpellier champion from Japan, Yu Shoji!
And there it is for the 3rd year in a row from Japan, Yu Shoji. Such
Et le
an
trophée
insane
est
contest
décerné
right
par
here once
Hervé
again in
André Benoît lui-même,
Montpellier.
bien sûr.
Wow. Getting
Du
Flatland
bruit
to be
pour
the
nos
last
riders,
one.
là, s'il vous
Put
plaît.
a bright light on this discipline that we love.
The lovely dessert
Voilà les
to
belles
end
images,
the 9-course
Voilà
dinner
les
that is
souvenirs.
FISE Montpellier.
les souvenirs qu'on va
Absolutely.
rapporter à la maison et qu'on va mettre sur les réseaux sociaux, bien sûr. N'oubliez pas les
There's your
réseaux sociaux
poster
du
boy
FISE, @FISE
for this
World, sur Instagram, sur
2025
Facebook, sur TikTok, sur YouTube.
edition.
Hashtag FISE, hashtag
Such
FISE
a
Montpellier,
crazy sunny
hashtag FISE World, bien sûr.
An action-packed weekend.
Partagez vos moments sur
And now
les
the
réseaux.
question will be,
Montrez à quel
will
point
Yu
vous
Shoji
aimez
come
nos
back
sports.
next year for the 4th in a row?
Hopefully,
Thank you so
they
much,
love the
Montpellier.
crowd here, and
How
that's why
about
they
a
keep
round of
coming
applause
back.
for my co-host,
Even in Japan, where there are
Raphael
superstars, they
Chiquet?
don't get such a crowd.
Merci
So-
Montpellier. C'est ma première fois au micro, franchement je me suis régalé. J'espère que ça vous
What
a
a good
plu.
podium
Et-
once again.
Well
Et
deserved.
du bruit pour notre
Absolutely.
speaker
Tons of
international,
action.
The Legend, Catfish!
And that's gonna get him points for what's up next. Let's see
And
the overall
du
ranking.
bruit
Yu
Pour
Shoji
vous, bien sûr, Montpellier, c'est
taking
vous la
home
foule
the
qui
1000
permettez tout
points.
ça avec votre
900
ambiance,
for
votre
Julien
force,
Baron, the
la
Frenchman.
passion. C'est ça qu'on veut voir.
And that is a
Et
great
vous
way
savez
to
quoi?
start your
On
season
vous dit
with.
tous, à l'année
But now the
prochaine,
guys
see
will have
you
to wait
next
a couple of months for FISE Shanghai.
Au revoir.
No, Lionel, I'd like to thank you for all your BMX Flatland expertise. It was a lot of fun. It was an amazing contest that we had. And I want to thank you watching this FISE Montpellier. We had 5 days full of fun, full of good vibes, full of all the athleticism that we could see on the bikes, on skateboards, rollerblades, scooters, braking. We had so many stuff happening. I had a lot of fun. I hope you had as well. And we hope to see you at FISE Shanghai.